Hello, everybody, and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm hot for justice.
I'm Chibi Noob.
And I'm Envy Jitters.
And we're back. As we said before, we're going through some oldies today, and we played a little, hey, spot that voice actor, because, last week we watched Kirby, and that one dude who worked for Evil Corp, I forget what the hell it was called, he was voiced by Dan Green. And we all know Dan Green's other great voice role in Winx Club. Because, so, we had to watch the first 3 episodes of Winx Club. This is my first time seeing this. I have never seen Winx Club, and I don't know that I want to watch more of it.
That's fine. Same. That's why we're only watching 3 episodes.
Does anyone have any history on this show? I don't have a whole lot to go off of here.
So, it's a show from the early to mid 2000s. It's originally Italian. Basically, the rights got bought by 4Kids sometime around, 2004, 2005.
You know, how most tragedies happen.
Yeah. So, it got...
4Kids was involved? Uh-oh.
They dubbed it over, and I will say, I also rewatched, so I watched the 3 episodes that we watch a day from 4Kids, and then I also watched episode 1, the Rye English version of the show, which is basically the English dub that's a bit more accurate to what the episode actually was and what it was in the original Italian. Mm-hmm. It is... So 4Kids cut out about 4 minutes of it.
Yeah, I noticed they were shorter. I kind of thought, because when I was watching on YouTube, they didn't have the openings or the endings, so I just figured that was where they were cutting time. But it was really short per episode. It was 17 minutes.
What they did was they actually took out chunks, and so there's the part in the beginning where she's sitting in the park with her rabbit Kiko. Mm-hmm. Basically, that whole part where they're talking about the girl who's sleeping in the guest bedroom in the middle of the episode, that whole section is supposed to go at the beginning of the episode.
So then they flash back to the park?
No! They just started right from the park, and basically, they do this whole thing where they're just,
I'm sorry.
Backtracking a little bit, putting different pieces of the episode in different segments. Why?
So wait a minute. Are you saying the first episode was supposed to be told Pulp Fiction style?
No, it was not. They just told it in a different format. They just took pieces and put them in different places.
Okay, but I'm just confused as to what you're saying the original was supposed to be. You're saying that she's already supposed to be in the guest bedroom, sleeping, but then they don't flash back to the park fight?
No, okay. So, 4Kids 1 starts off with the whole fight scene in the park.
Yeah, we see some random redhead and her pet rabbit in a park who's afraid of squirrels. And then there's some girl in an orange go-go suit. Actually, she looks like she's cosplaying Foxy Love from Drawn Together, minus the hat, and white. And she's fighting these demon gremlin dogs and a minion on steroids. And... yeah, she gets beat up, and then the redhead shows up and shoots fire beams at people or something, and then everyone leaves, and they're fairies. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was confused at first. Legit, it just kind of throws you in the deep end right away.
Yeah, so that part is all there, and then the next part is basically her waking up in her bedroom, talking to her mom, about the girl who's in the guest bedroom, going downstairs to talk to her dad, and also her getting, going on her bicycle, running into that one girl.
Yeah, who I'm assuming we'll never see again.
I think she probably
She'll come back. Of course she will. Not for me. I'm not watching more.
Yeah. Anyway, that whole chunk before Stella wakes up, that you saw, that whole chunk right there that I just talked about, that's supposed to go at the beginning of the episode.
Why would they do that?
Because Four Kids has this weird thing with taking bits of episodes and just putting them in different spots because they don't know what to do with the lip flaps, I think.
I think they especially have some trouble here because I kind of wanted to mention the animation and the lip flap stuff, and I think because this isn't, I mean, this is because I'm the one who edits Madoka, but I'm sure you guys see this kind of stuff. Like lip flaps for an anime are pretty on the basic side, where it's basically like you have like 3, maybe 4 mouth positions that you have to fill, versus when you get into more detailed animation, which you sometimes see with the mouth work on, say, a Western animated show, which it actually is, there are like 12 different shapes that a mouth makes for specific sounds.
I remember hearing about this. I think in anime they do the animation first and then the voice acting, whereas in Western shows they tend to do the voice acting first, or at least pretty early in production.
Yeah, or in tandem or something like that. Like that's true, but like as far as dubbing goes, the show's already made, so it doesn't matter. But in any case, you do see there are less mouth shapes going on in Japanese animation for a normal series for the most part, versus Western shows, which tend to use a lot more of the more intricate mouth shapes sometimes for speaking. And I think as a result, it's harder to dub like that.
Yeah, it generally tends to be, for sure.
Because I was gonna say, like, just in general, this is kind of a janky ass show.
I mean, yeah.
Like,
I know the animation gets a lot better in the later seasons.
Oh God, I hope so. It's like,
I mean,
this is like a tier above like Flash animation.
Like seasons 1 through 4, like they go from this animation to, they generally get better over the time, but seasons like 5 through like 7, those are all like newer, like really newer, and also I think they're digitally animated as well.
Well, I was seeing some digital stuff. They got some early 2000 CG.
That was.
What a great establishing shot. My God,
that castle though
transported me, man. I tell you what.
Yeah.
Transported me straight to my nightmares.
God. Yeah. Anyway, so should we get back to the episode and talk about what happened in it?
Yeah, so what's her face? Redhead.
Bloom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one is being interrogated by her parents in regard to the sleeping homeless woman who's now staying in their guest room. And, as you do. And Dad can't quite seem to... I think he has a problem with depth perception, because there was at least one shot where you can tell from his body language he thinks he's speaking directly to his daughter, but she's actually off to the side. So I don't know if that was a mistake by the animator or he just can't see. But it's got at least their problems at times. But yeah, Blondie's a fairy. Mm-hmm, and the dad's wondering if that's like a goth thing, or I know emo was big back then, something like that. But no, it's really a fairy and has magic powers and turns pencils into bigger pencils. Oh my God.
Yep.
Honestly, she reminded me of a PG Polly. Like, personality-wise.
Oh, like, Polly. Okay.
Yeah.
From Monster Prom?
Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. The dialogue really didn't capture me at all. I honestly, it just kind of like washes over you and then just washes past you, and it's almost like it wasn't even there at times.
Yeah, honestly, there was one line in all these episodes that I actually kind of chuckled at, and it was in episode 3, and I can't even remember what it was.
I can't remember a single thing anyone said in this.
Wow.
I'm really struggling right now. which is usually not a problem that I have with 4 kids.
I mean, all of the like dialogue lines and the banter is like kind of stereotypical.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be real honest.
And like, yeah, but in any case, I think Fairy Girl was like, whatever her name is,
Stella.
Fairy Girl. She wants Red to come with her to magic school, to Hogwarts, and her parents are like, no, but I guess that doesn't matter because they're going to go anyway. And then the minion, who it starts to look even more like a minion because it has glasses. I'm just going to call him Big Bob. So Big Bob grabs more devil dogs, and
Also a troll.
I know they gave him the nipple ring troll.
Yeah.
Cannot think or see him as anything else but the nipple ring troll.
That was the thing.
Yeah, the nipple ring troll and Bob. Hang on, I gotta adjust my mic. Yeah, the nipple ring troll and Bob go hunting for underage girls around town, and because they can smell them, and they find them and wreck the parents' house, which I don't know if insurance covers nipple ring trolls and
I
stuff.
don't think it covers in their policy.
No. You know who nipple ring troll actually kind of looked like? Do you guys ever see Metalocalypse?
No.
I've seen a few episodes.
I think he's the lead singer, guy with the long
Yeah.
hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
A little bit.
Yeah. So him and Big Bob, and they wreck the place, and I completely forget what happens in the climax of this episode.
The boys show up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
the
god.
boys from
Oh my
the-
god. Dan Green shows up.
Yeah.
You guys. The whole reason we watched this episode.
Oh my god.
Dan Green plays a prince named Sky,
Yeah. Does he?
who was one of my like fictional crushes when I was younger.
So my whole thing is like, wait a minute, hang on, let's back up a second. Which one did Dan Green play? What was
Sky.
his?
See, the wiki
Sky.
says
No,
Sky, but
but
isn't the blonde one Brandon? Because that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so spoilers, but it doesn't matter since you're not gonna watch it.
Oh yeah,
Sky
you're right.
and Brandon switched places.
Yeah,
so
you're
technically,
right.
Brandon is Prince Sky, but Sky is Brandon. They switched places
Yeah.
because they didn't want people finding out who the actual prince was.
Oh,
in
this
the
is
show.
this is a Keira Knightley, Natalie Portman thing from episode 1.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
Exactly.
all right.
You're right. I forgot about that detail.
Okay, so he is Sky. That's cool.
Yes.
All right.
He's Sky.
So not Sky. You know what? We know who he is. He's Dan motherfucking Green. So Dan motherfucking Green and his boys, the boys,
Yes,
Yeah.
the boys are here.
the boys, they come in, they help the fairies, they smack around the nipple troll, and
They knock him down. They knock him down a chasm.
yeah.
And then they take him into custody.
Then they put him in electric bondage rings, as I'm sure he's used to, and Big Bob goes away to. God, this mic is just too hot today. Big Bob goes to talk to his shadowy masters, who I'm sure we'll see very soon.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
we
they
will.
explained about the schools. It's like
Yeah.
Hogwarts, Adventure Training Academy place.
Yep.
Probably like from Ruby or something, and evil Hogwarts.
Yes.
So,
Witches.
Yeah. All within a mile of each other. So convenient, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then she goes to school.
Yeah.
And that's episode 1, I think. Did I miss anything? I probably missed a lot. I don't know.
No, not
you're-
really.
Good enough.
Yeah, good enough.
I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that.
What?
It's okay.
Someone's gonna come after my ass.
Why?
I don't know. I'm gonna get a super fan of Winx who's gonna be like, you guys didn't explain it good enough.
Well,
I mean,
also, we're not
if we
technically
don't
watching.
watching the 4
Good
kids
enough
dub.
Yeah.
We're not watching the official English dub that Wikipedia actually likes, because the 4 kids dub isn't even anywhere on the Wikipedia page unless you look at the episode titles.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
It's been scrubbed.
Yep. Honestly, I think the only person who would comment on our video right now might be the person who scrubbed the Wikipedia page. So, as long as if they don't want to get outed, I think they should keep their mouth shut.
Well, too bad. The 4 kids dub is already on YouTube, so I don't really think they can do much about that.
No, being outed for wrecking the Wikipedia page for 4 kids.
I mean, any person can edit a Wikipedia page if they're signed up.
But let me ask you this. Who is going to take the time to completely scrub the 4 kids version of Winx from Wikipedia other than an obsessed fan?
You just answered your own question.
And
Yes.
who would comment about the things that were missing in the first episode of Winx Club other than the same crazy obsessed fan? They pull shit here. Everyone's going to know it was them. That's all I'm saying.
You're blackmailing them.
I'm not blackmailing them. I'm just
Well-
like, hey, it's like, if you got a warrant out, don't get caught for speeding.
Yeah.
It's like, don't commit... This is not the same thing, but, like, don't commit a crime if you're already wanted for other crimes. It's like, yeah. I don't know anything about criminal justice. What the fuck am I talking about? You know what I do know
No.
about? Winx. 'Cause
Episode 2. Here we go.
the roommate episode. Actually, this is a bit of an exposition dump episode, I
Yeah.
think. Because we learn about the Force.
It really is.
It is the
They
Force,
were
yeah.
roommates.
Yeah. So they
Oh
go
my
to...
God, they were roommates.
They go to Hogwarts, whatever the hell it's called. I don't know. And
It's Althea.
Hogwarts. I don't know. Camp Half-Blood. I don't know.
It's better.
So they're there. Camp Half-Blood. I'm gonna go with Hogwarts. It makes more sense.
Yeah. It's an actual school.
So they go to Hogwarts, and they're gonna be roommates. And she's pretending to be a princess that she's not. Which,
Yep.
okay,
Yeah.
Yin had a question.
Yes.
Is everyone there a princess?
No.
Okay.
I think they're either a princess or like very, very wealthy and high standard or something like that.
I kind of assumed that, but I just wasn't sure if everyone was royalty or if you just had to be a fairy.
No, the thing is like you have to be a fairy and you need to be accepted into the school. So those
Yeah.
are like the 2 stipulations for being allowed to go to Althea.
Yeah, that's right. Hogwarts don't take no squibs, because there's an non-magic barrier. There's a normal person barrier to make sure the
Which-
normies stay out. No muggles allowed.
Which I have a question about. How
Go
is
for
a
it.
rabbit able to get in?
It might
Is
only
he
be
magic?
for plot convenience. I don't know. Probably.
It really confused me.
He is definitely smarter than the average rabbit.
I mean, yeah, Kiko is a smart bunny, but I was like, consistency, why? Where are you?
I feel like all animals are magical.
Okay.
You know what? He's
Fair
not
enough.
I mean, were they just kind of like saying like no regular humans, or just like you have to be magic?
It's-
Well, yeah,
I
what?
think so.
Yeah, it's you
Didn't
have
they
to
say,
be like a magical
magic or-
being.
So maybe the rabbit is secretly a magical creature. It's not a regular rabbit.
Maybe.
Then
Or
what's
maybe
it
they're
doing on Earth? Because they basically said, I thought all the magical creatures weren't on Earth anymore. In
Hey,
this
Maybe
episode.
maybe they're paired together, like they're magical creatures together or
Chibi.
something like that.
Think
What?
about this. This is a magical girl show in some form or fashion.
I
There is
know.
always the animal creature of magical or dubious origins who can articulate human speech of some kind that is going to choose the chosen one. And obviously Red is the chosen one. Kiko is absolutely a magical creature of some kind. An annoying-ass magical creature, but a magical creature nonetheless.
I know, it just... consistency!
It is completely consistent with the genre.
It's stupid!
It's not stupid.
It annoys me.
That's completely consistent with the genre.
Go on!
Okay, yeah, they meet the head of disciplinary action and the principal and their 3 roommates who, at this point, to me, are completely interchangeable and don't matter.
They matter.
I know they matter in the long run, but ultimately, I know nothing about them and never will. You got technology girl named Techna. Yeah. You got flower girl named Flora, and you got sound girl who I did not remember her name because I don't think it was a pun.
They didn't say it.
What was it?
It's Musa.
Never heard it, so...
Yeah, they didn't say it. That's why. I was like, they didn't introduce Musa.
So,
yeah.
So Technus, Poison Ivy, and Amy from Futurama are their roommates. And... they go shopping? Was that
they get pizza. They get pizza first.
They go to get pizza. And they go to introduce Bloom to the world of magics. Because she's never been there before.
She's not impressed either.
No.
Yeah, it's like our world, just a little bit better.
They have flying cars. That's an improvement.
Yeah.
And you can make your own parking space. Oh my god, you can make your own
convenient.
I knew you would like that part, Al.
I was like, why can't I have this in real life?
I would give my left nut to be able to just do that.
I mean, with how parking is in the city sometimes, that is like, can I give you half my life to be able to do this?
Now,
please?
Hey, I can live a pretty long and successful life with one nut. I don't know if I'd give half my life. You know what? I'm using half my life trying to find parking.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Ends up about even. Yeah, then they split up for some reason, and she gets attacked by these 3 goth chicks with magic powers. And the minion. The minion finds her. The minion. Big Bob. Big Bob chases them around and then calls 3 goth chicks over to beat up Red.
Mm-hmm.
They want her. They want the Stella girl's scepter for some reason, for some nefarious plan.
Because it's a MacGuffin, and they're villains, and villains want them MacGuffins.
You want to wait? Okay, I know they didn't say the goth witches' names, but do you want to know them because they're really stupid?
No. I know exactly who they are. They are Elsa, Count Vertigo, and Storm.
You're close with the one.
Yeah, actually, because her name is Stormy.
Right, Count Vertigo?
Yeah.
Count Vertigo? No?
No.
No.
Stormy, the one who does the storms.
Yeah,
that is her name.
There's Icy, Darcy, and Stormy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are Darcy's powers?
Darkness.
Yeah.
So that's just vague as shit.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
They literally named them after their powers.
Everyone's named after their powers. Which, by the way, what are Bloom's powers? Is she another plant girl?
No, she's
fire. Yeah.
She's the fairy of fire. Dragon fire, to be precise.
And they named her Bloom.
That's what her parents called her, and those are her Earth parents.
Well, yeah, that's her Earth name.
Yeah.
Question.
She does have a sister, and her sister's name is Daphne.
Question.
But her sister is a fairy.
Question for you.
Yes.
Is her dad a fireman? Because I thought he was like wearing something like that.
Yeah, he's a fireman.
Okay. All right. I was just wondering that.
Wait, wasn't her origin story that he saved her from a fire?
So she's adopted?
Yeah.
Yes.
So she
They're not
is
her real
really
parents.
a magical person from another dimension.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's
Alright.
from...
Spoilers.
Yeah. She's from
Shit.
another... She's from another
Spoilers.
planet, and she's... Yeah, she's basically from, like, a fairy dimension that controls fire. That's where she's from.
Yeah, she,
Thus her red hair.
Yeah.
How did she get to Earth then?
Their parents dropped
Magic
her
bullshit.
off on Earth.
Yeah.
Was it like a Krypton situation?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, she's Superman now. Or Supergirl.
At least that's
or
what
whatever
I
you wanna call her.
remember. I'm not entirely
Super
sure.
person.
I think her life was, like, in danger.
Yeah. So they had to, like, get her out.
Yeah, but why? Was the planet exploding, or was it like a disease?
She's from planet Domino. That's it.
Now, are you just reading that funny because you want to make it sound magical, or is she from planet Dominoes?
Well, it's spelled Domino, but it's pronounced Domino.
Okay, well, she's the princess of Dominoes.
I knew
Thus,
it.
how she always wants a slice. And let's see here. She gets
And then that means the
attacked.
rabbit was magically transformed the rabbit from the Noid.
Oh, you know what? I think we figured it out.
Oh my god.
I think we Envy for the win. All the strings are connected. It all makes sense now. You're
didn't
Charlie Kelly up at
connect
that
shit.
board right now. So anyway, back at the plot. Elsa, Storm, and Count Vertigo are just beating the shit out of Princess Domino. And Princess Domino. Who owns Domino's? I can't call her Papa John. Wait, was Papa John the Noid? Or was Domino's the Noid? It was Domino's, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Domino's founder or CEO? Which one do you want?
I don't know. Which one would be funnier to call her?
Well, the founders are the Monagans. Tom and James Monaghan.
Eh. Should I call her Wendy? Like Wendy's? I can't think of another redhead.
I think Red is fine.
Just call her
Red is fine.
Princess Red. So, yeah, she gets beat up, but then her friends show up, have a magical girl transformation, and had to remind everyone that they are the Winx multiple times. And then they run away. Our heroes, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. Did anything else happen in episode 2? They just kind of went back. It's like,
so
hey, there's a
what
fight.
happened
Let's go home.
What happened at the end of the episode was basically they got back from shopping and pizza late, so the headmistress and the disciplinary
Snoopy
lady
teacher.
basically like confronted them and were like, hey, you should all be in bed right now, and we heard you talking and saying like, oh, there's something that you're not telling us. What is it? And basically Bloom comes out and just says, yeah, so my name is not Veranda, and I'm not from wherever I said I was. My name is Bloom, and I'm a fairy from Earth. And they're like, you're from Earth? What? And she's like, yeah, I wanted to come to school, and I know it was on such short notice. So the one is about ready to kick her out, but the headmistress is like, no, let's give her a chance, because she came to us and told us what was up. So they let them go, and she's allowed to stay, but they're both like, wait, she's from Earth? I thought magical creatures didn't exist there anymore.
Yeah.
So that's where that
Foreshadowing.
bit comes from.
I know exactly why the one teacher is like, hey, we'll keep her around, because this girl narked on herself. Do you know how many people probably narc in that school? Not nearly enough to keep them all in line. So they need a person on the inside. This person's going to narc on everybody. I see Professor Whitehair. She's playing the long game.
All right.
Okay.
Sure.
Hey, Dumbledore's always play long game.
That's true.
Yep.
So episode 3, they're getting taught transformation from a leprechaun.
Yep.
And she just can't do it.
Nope.
He's
I don't
an
think
elf.
Sure he is. So
I mean-
Lucky's teaching them how to transform. And
I'm gonna be real honest. In the other dub, they do give him an Irish accent.
That's
I'm
funny.
not
They
surprised.
do turn him into a leprechaun for all intents and purposes.
Yep.
That's right. Honestly, I thought that's what he was too. I didn't get elf.
I just got it because that's what he said he was. He introduced himself as an elf.
Well, I can say that I'm plenty of things. Doesn't mean that... doesn't make me an elf.
Maybe he's lying to protect himself.
Maybe he's a Keebler elf. You know what? Maybe I should give him the benefit of the doubt here.
Yeah, there's
Well,
all kinds of
he needs to
elves.
be in that tree making cookies.
You mentioned cookies to him and he has a flashback. No, I'm not going back. My cousin left Santa's workshop to become a dentist. I got away too.
I didn't come back there alive.
You have no idea how stupid our business plan is. We're gonna bake in a tree. It's made of wood. Everything's on fire all the time.
They keep gonna cut down our trees for land development. There goes our jobs, our homes.
There are so many problems with the Keebler elves.
Not to mention, Pooh comes in and his grave animal instincts finally kick in.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
Anyway, the air quotes elf teaches them transformation. We gotta get past this. She can't do magic.
At least
It doesn't
not
matter.
easily.
It doesn't matter, cause the prom is tomorrow, and she doesn't have a dress.
Nope.
Or is it homecoming? It's the beginning of the year. I think it's homecoming.
It's
or
basically
something.
their big formal dance for like welcome back.
Yeah.
So my
homecoming.
big question is, why couldn't they just use magic to make her a dress? Why do they have to go buy one?
Didn't they ask that in the thing?
What?
Didn't someone say, why can't we just use magic to make a dress?
I mean, I
But
think
no one
one
answered.
Of them did,
But did we
the
get an
thing-
answer?
I don't know.
God, the dialogue is so pointless that it's...
They're not allowed to use their powers, like, for that kind of stuff in the school.
Yeah.
So leave
Oh
the
yeah, that's
school.
right. There are certain limitations to what they're allowed to do, like on and off campus. Like when they were out and about, technically they weren't allowed to use their magic, like at all.
Yeah.
Alright. Anyway, everyone's got a cool dress in theme of whatever their characters are. Except for Red, because she's new and doesn't have money and doesn't know anything about anything anywhere. So, shopping montage about how they want to be one of the girls.
Yep.
God, that was an annoying chorus. And she can't afford anything, so she goes to a sale and gets a dress, but it's too long, and she has to go looking for scissors. But the goth chicks are in the school now because they have an assignment from Witch School to be the worst people that they can be. And their idea to be the worst people in the world, what do you think? We're going to genocide that other school. I'm just kidding. They're going to make everyone throw up with rat people.
Rat snakes.
Rat snakes, right.
Yep, that is their master plan.
And that
To
is
just
the
make
most
everyone
terrible,
vomit.
disgusting idea that anyone in that school has ever heard. I'm like, that's weak sauce, man.
Yeah, one bite from a rat will make them upchuck everywhere. I was
Yeah,
like, okay,
specifically,
what?
Projectile vomit.
Yeah,
question
like,
is
okay.
You
that-
could just, use poison.
They could.
My
They
question
said
is-
projectile vomit like
Yeah.
7 times in this episode. I'm just
They
like,
did.
and
My
no
question
one
is-
does it.
My question
Spoiler.
is that just for kids trying to like come up with
I don't
something that's
know.
sort of like kid friendly to do for this whole master plan, or like what was the original plan in like Italian?
I
Like,
want
was
to
it
know
actually
that
more
too.
nefarious?
They all die of dysentery. Instant
Wow.
dysentery. Everyone shits themselves and dies right on the dance floor. You know what?
Jeez.
If that was the original plan, like, damn, that's actually a pretty evil plan.
Wow.
Gonna give me Oregon Trail flashbacks. So yeah, and they're gonna their distribution method is all the wannabe paladins from adventuring school brought eggs that turn into butterflies.
Yep.
For some reason. And, so now they're going to turn into rat snakes and puke everywhere. But Red sees them doing this, so she gets all her friends. They sing Kumbaya for a few minutes, and everything's back to normal. But oh no, the goth chicks got a hold of Blondie's jewelry box.
Yeah.
Because she put her super-powered scepter ring that the bad guys constantly want and is the source of most of her power because it didn't match her dress. I'm like, you stupid motherfucker.
Big dumb. Big dumb.
So, one ring doesn't match... the ring of all your power doesn't match your dress, so you're not going to bring it. That is so stupid.
Yeah.
That's like Hal Jordan being like, man, this Green Lantern ring doesn't match my shirt. I'm not wearing it today.
Stella was never the brightest bulb of the bunch at all.
No, she's my favorite, though.
Dumb as a rock. I'm sorry. So, the inevitable happens and someone steals her magic ring. But I guess Red got it back or didn't get it back. I don't know.
They did. She told the other girls what their plan was about Stella's ring, and so Bloom did a spell, or not Bloom. Flora did a spell.
Yeah, the other flower one.
Yeah,
Poison Ivy.
One. Poison Ivy did a spell to replace the ring with an egg.
An egg
that would hatch a duck.
Why did it not hatch a rat snake? They built those things up so much.
Because it's from a fairy magazine and they only really do good magic. So that's why.
Let me tell you though, that duck is so funny for the upcoming episodes.
Oh my
I'm
God,
not watching it, so
that freaking duck.
Also,
I'm just saying, it's Chekhov's gun.
Also, I had an icy doll when I was younger, and she came with the little purple duck.
Yeah, because it calls her mama.
But before that, we got to talk about how once again Red is fighting the goth chicks all on her own, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not too intimidated by them because they just kind of suck. Elsa charges up this big, attack of ice and, shoots it and it hits, everything. And, but by the end of it, I'm just like, you missed! How did you miss? She was right in front of you! So she just jumps away from that. And then Count Vertigo smashes the ground because they suddenly have earth powers and creates a chasm. And then Storm sends a tornado, and they still can't kill this girl. And then she turns into a magic fairy princess, and she doesn't really do anything when that happens. You know what? I think she tried to throw some magic at them at one point, and it just kind of farted and died.
Yeah, it did. But that's because the thing with her powers is just they need to believe in themselves, and their powers are all controlled by their emotions, is the thing.
I see.
So that's why Bloom couldn't get it to work. So
they described the Winx in episode 2, and it's the Winx is with everybody, and everyone has special Winx, and it controls them, blah blah blah. It's you're just describing the Force. That's, I don't know. And where does the goth chick's power come from? Is that also the Winx? Is that the dark side of the Winx?
The dark side of the Winx.
Do you remember?
They never saw where their power came from.
I'm asking Gav.
Oh.
Because
No,
I don't
You know what?
remember.
It's the dark side of the Schwartz. Okay, we get it.
I don't
The
remember.
Schwartz.
There's an upside and a downside to every Schwartz.
No idea. I have no fucking clue.
So anyway, Red takes control of her Schwartz power, but her Schwartz isn't as big as the goth chick's Schwartz, and gets her ass kicked again. And then the other girls show up, and I forget what happens again. Did they just run away again?
Oh, they...
Or did they
No,
just get
wait.
away with what they thought was the ring?
No.
Yeah.
So they get away with what they thought was the ring, but Bloom did take care of them on her own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, her friends only showed up at the end.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
can't remember anything that she did.
Basically, she kind of exploded.
I
Is
feel
all
like I
can
should
really
remember that, but I don't.
Not like an explosion, but like she kind of like had like a burst of power and whatever. But then, because they got their hands on the ring, they ran away. I think
All
was
right.
what happened.
It feels like that's how most of these fights go. It's like, hey, we're gonna flash some of our power, and then the moment that we're actually gonna get into a real fight, someone runs it home.
Yeah.
It's a little disappointing.
But yeah, so that's
Which-
where we go to. They're like, oh, she's like, oh yeah, they got away, and then they're like, oh yeah, the egg that they took that was inside the thing to replace the ring, yeah, they still have it. It wasn't like a dud. And then she goes and she cuts up her dress with like magic scissors, and she shows up at the dance and she dances with
With Dan Green.
yes.
Yeah.
I take it they're the main ship / couple of the show.
They are.
Dan Green is the
Yeah.
main ship of anything.
They I think I was reading somewhere that I think it was, and I think one of the movie specials, that eventually he ends up proposing to
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
they're actually
Before she
Endgame.
gets with the main
Yes.
character, he's Dan Green.
Yeah, they're endgame.
I mean,
They
come
are
on.
Endgame. Well, they kind of established like all of like the Endgame ships, or at least most of them, in season 1.
Wait
And
a
then
minute.
when they
So
have-
who doesn't get someone? Because there's only 4 dudes. There's
Uh,
5 of
Flora's
them.
Flora.
guy turns up in season 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Poison
Are
Ivy.
they,
Poison
He
Ivy
was
has
the-
to wait
he
to
was
season
the-
2 to get their ship.
He was the best
Why does
one.
that sound familiar?
Wait, I'm pretty sure, is that the guy with the black hair?
I don't remember, because I know
I think
Layla also has someone else who comes along later.
Who's Layla?
She doesn't turn up until season 2.
Okay,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
is
yeah.
her power
Yeah,
that
it's-
is clearly a description in her name?
So Layla is, her powers
I have an
are,
idea,
like,
but I know it's not good for a kid's show.
Tides. Waves.
Waves and tides.
Okay, went a completely different direction to what I was thinking.
Yeah, Flora gets Helia, the guy with the long black hair, who's sexy. He's the art student.
Okay.
Gav has a type.
Do I?
Touch.
What's
You got a
the
thing
type?
for Liam, too.
No, I didn't.
Don't you?
No, I like Damien more.
Okay. Is there anything else to talk about with this show?
Was
I
it
feel like I've
me,
exhausted
or
you.
I don't know if it was the version we watched on YouTube, but for me, did it seem like very fast paced to you? Like it just didn't have a moment to breathe or anything
It's a
like
little,
that?
yeah. It is a little bit. Like, maybe
Yeah.
it's like what you're saying, how they kind of cut some stuff from the episodes.
Yeah. They,
But-
like, basically, like, took out, like, and moved things around so that way, like, everything kind of seemed, like, a little more fast-paced.
Yeah, because nothing happens. They got to keep the pace going somehow.
Yeah, also, it's a show for kids. You gotta keep them engaged. So.
Yeah. Also, the
Yeah.
transitions are so weird and random. I don't know if anyone else noticed that, but they're like constantly fading in and out, which should feel like a passage of time, but it's really just going to the next. I don't know.
Next scene.
Next scene that's
Yeah.
like a direct continuation, not like I don't know. It's film language that I just don't feel like they're using correctly.
Yeah. Well, it also depends on when they are like, okay, this is where the commercial break will be, and we'll use
I guess
it
that's
there.
true too.
Because I have seen that exact same problem with other shows that have been dubbed over.
Yeah.
Doing that exact same problem, mostly because of when we have our own commercials.
Yeah.
I guess that's a fair point. Oh, excuse me.
Because they typically have the commercials around, like, the same time intervals, which is, like, every 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they'll have, like, a minute or a minute and a half of commercials. So that's usually how we space it out, at least for American TV. With other, like, at
Actually,
least the shows...
I think it's a little different from that. I think you get, like, 2 to 3 minutes for, like, your opening and that. Then you go to commercial. Then you have maybe 10 to 12 minutes before the mid break. And then you go straight to the end. And then there's a commercial break between shows.
Okay. Maybe I'm thinking more... Maybe I'm thinking a little more along the lines of, like, hour-long shows. Because I know they're sort of split up at least a bit, like...
Yeah.
In intervals as well.
Yeah, the intervals are a little bit different there. But I think it's because you can fit more stuff in.
Yeah. But, anyway, Gav, is there anything else that we're forgetting to talk about with this? Oh, did you find out where the witch's powers come from?
I did.
It's the dark side
Where?
of the swords, right? Or the downside.
It's just dark magic,
So this is the dark side of the swords. Yeah.
basically. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like negative emotions.
Ah.
Yeah. They're the
okay.
Sith.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay, so we've been kind of skirting around the subject a little bit. This show got sued by Disney because they thought
Really?
like it was a copyright infringement of Witch.
Yep.
Did not win the case. And before watching the show, I was totally like, yeah, I could see how they could possibly have a case here. Like, it
No.
looks,
No.
on paper, like the same thing. But then when you actually watch it,
It's not.
It's completely different.
it's kind of like,
Which is much better, in my opinion.
oh, it absolutely is. It's like 100%. But it's kind of like, and Yin kind of helped me figure out where I'd kind of seen this stuff before. I never watched it, but like I knew there was commercials for something called My Scene.
Yeah.
Yes. I was obsessed with my scene.
This is what that is. With a mixture of Witch and I think Yin said Sabrina the Animated Series.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And like just little sprinklings of other things to the point where I'm like, I feel like I'm going down like, you guys ever been to Aldi's?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you go down like their cereal aisle or whatever, and like you feel like everything is familiar, but then when you actually look at the boxes, it's like, that's not Cheerios, that's Crispy Oats. Or it's not Lucky Charms, it's Marshmallows and Stars.
Yeah. Like off-brand.
This feels like the generic off-brand amalgamation of a number of different shows.
Yeah,
I know I'm
like
sounding hella insulting right now. But
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I understand what you mean. It's not Frosted Flakes, it's Frosty Corn Flakes.
yeah. It's not
Honestly-
Pop-Tarts, it's Toaster Tarts.
I don't... No, I
Do you not
totally
know
see what you're
Toaster
saying, but I'm just like... I'm trying to... Because it reminds me of something else that I've seen, but I'm trying to remember what.
What Winx Club does?
Yeah.
Trolls.
It reminds me of Trolls, and it reminds me a little bit You know the Tinkerbell movies?
Disney Fairies.
Yeah. It
I
also
love
kind of
Disney
reminds me
Fairies.
of that, but this came out before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was obsessed with all those things.
So this is Winx Club. So what is our general rating?
I mean, it wasn't for me, but I can understand why it was popular with young kids growing up, so I can't really fault it for that.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. I am clearly not the demographic for this.
I would watch more, but that's because I grew up with it. So like, yeah.
I would also watch a little bit more, just because like I know it gets better as it goes.
See, I gotta preface my answer here. It's a nay for me, but
I know. I knew it was a nay for you.
I want to say why it's a nay and why I give a nay here, and I wouldn't give a nay to something like Tokyo Mew Mew, which is also definitely not my demographic.
I mean, I can see why you would love Tokyo Mew Mew because of the line writing.
It's hilarious. And this one just isn't.
No.
Like, I don't feel like I should ever be able to forget a 4Kids dub. And I'm forgetting this one as every second goes by. And that makes me sad. Because I know everyone shits on them a lot, for good reason a lot of times. But
right.
They are hilarious whenever they're doing whatever they're doing, but they're just not doing it here.
Gav.
I think if they had just arguably a worse dub, I would like it more.
Maybe? Gav, quick question for you. This was running at the same time as Tokyo Mew Mew and Magical Do-Re-Mi on 4Kids, yeah? I want to say it was.
I want to say yes, because...
Yeah, because it was...
I was like, when I first started watching anime, I was like 8 or 9 years old, and that was on 4Kids, and when I started watching Winx Club, I was about the same age, yeah. Okay,
so, because I thought it was like 8 a.m. was Tokyo Mew Mew, 8:30 was Magical Do-Re-Mi, and then I think around like 9:30 or 10 o'clock was Winx Club. So I'm wondering if because they were all coming out around the same time, they just had different writers on different shows.
I think their B team was on Winx Club.
And their better writers were just on Mew Mew. And probably Do-Re-Mi, because Do-Re-Mi was so funny.
Better is such a weird way to say it because it's usually we laugh for the wrong reasons. Sometimes for the right reasons. But with 4Kids, sometimes it's like your worst writers are your best writers sometimes.
I mean, Gav, am I wrong in saying that I also remember Do-Re-Mi being exceedingly funny as well? Or
yes.
Okay, because I do also remember that one being particularly funny, so I don't know if it was just they had like specific writers like working on those two shows and then different writers working on Winx Club, but
I think you'd absolutely have that. That's just kind of something that happens with studios who are like making multiple things at the same time. You're going to have different people working on different projects. Like I know back in the day in the 90s when they were making like Batman the Animated Series, X-Men the Animated Series was coming out at the same time. And
the one that they had on Cartoon Network?
Well, it was originally on Fox Kids, but yes. But, you know, they had both of those coming out at the same time. And I don't want to, like, say, like, one of those was doing better than the others. I have my personal favorite, but, like, they were both quality-ass shows. But, yeah, it was, like... I've, like, seen interviews of some of the, like, the animators who were working on it and that, and people were like, oh, was there ever, like, some competition going on between the two teams, one doing Batman and one doing X-Men? And they're like, dude, we barely had time to to even think about that. We were just always like trying to like push it and do more stuff and like get it going. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if like, yeah, they just had to like divide teams up, and Winx Club might have just got the short end of the stick in that.
Maybe. I think maybe there is just also like a lot less hilarity just in the scenes in general for them to work with. Anime just happens to have all the weird expressions, so it's easier to like do funny shit with.
See, that's fair, but at the same time, I feel like there was a number of times in Mew Mew where even in a serious situation, there was comedy, but it was because of a line read or because of a joke. You didn't always have to rely on over-the-top pudding antics. You know? Like, I don't know. It was like sometimes it's just a background character that just sets your world ablaze. Step 1, stay calm. Everybody run for your lives! Oh, fantastic. Love that guy. Beautiful. Beautiful work. Beautiful work to the lifeguard guy from that episode. But there was none of that. Like, I think that would have been great to like have just like a background character say something, or just like little general things. I don't know. Would have added honestly would have added a little bit of character to the show.
Yeah.
But maybe they did that for the dub of for Nickelodeon's dub. I wouldn't know. I'm not going to know.
I'm gonna guess no.
No, it's probably boring. It's probably like when they redubbed Ghost Stories. It's like, you have the ADV dub. Why do you want a faithful retelling?
Yeah, they actually made the show entertaining. From what I heard, the original show was so boring as shit, they didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, that's how they got it on the cheap. But yeah, apparently there was a fan base who was like, we need a more faithful adaptation, and they got it, and no one remembers it.
But everyone remembers the dub.
You bet your ass they do. We should watch that at some point. But not just yet, because we have other things that we need to be watching. Because, you know, let's bring it up again. We had Dan Green here today. And Dan Green, no matter how small his role, is always fantastic. But you know what we need to start looking at? We need to start looking at Dan Green possibly taking a leading role, like a main role. And I think we're all in agreement here. His most iconic performance as a leading character has to be Hudson Horstachio from Viva Pinata. So that's what we're watching next week. We're gonna don't know where you're gonna find it. Find it. We're gonna.
It's on YouTube.
Of course, it's on YouTube. Everything 4Kids is on YouTube. It's also a 4Kids dub. So
Yes.
yeah, it's basically anime. If 4Kids did it, it's basically anime. So come back next week to listen to Dan Green as Hudson Horstachio and Viva Pinata. We're going. You know what? I think we were talking like doing this. I think we just need to go green. We just got to go green. All Dan Green. Moving forward for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
Just Dan Green, and why not start with like an iconic leading role? You know what I mean? I don't think there was a more iconic leading role that he had than Hudson Horstachio. But we can discuss that later. Come back next week. Join us as we go green on Anime Air Day. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and feel free to check out some of our other gaming videos, our weekly podcast, Anime Yay or Nay, or our parody series, Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!